Let's clean out beer for a second. Clean out under my nails for a second. Oh wait, shit! Now you go live.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great timing.
Clean my nails. Oh shit, we're live.
Talk about some grooming habits here for a second, folks. That's all.
The grooming habits.
Nothing to worry about.
We're all real people. Except for Kaz, who is a up-to-date AI that we paid extra money for.
I was expensive.
Yes.
Yes. Because it's not at all a case of 3 extra cans of lubricant.
What I do with that lubricant is entirely up to me.
The bigger question was the coolant, but I don't want to get into it.
Look, when you're this hot, you have to have some coolant. Come on, I tried to tell you.
Don't confuse the two. That's all I'm asking.
I mean, we have to trust that the AI robot doesn't confuse the two.
It's cooling lubricant.
It both makes things run smooth and it cools things down.
It also makes you cool.
Hell yeah.
I got nothing. I have absolutely nothing.
We're off to a great start tonight, guys.
We're killing it. We're a great podcasting. We're fucking awesome. Jesus Christ.
When I said it makes you cool, I did a dab. So that's how you know it makes you cool.
Oh, that's how we know. All right, Doge is officially the coolest of us all, guys.
Yeah.
Yep, that thing from 8 years ago was really awesome.
Yeah.
Over there doing dabs and God knows what else.
I'm gonna get the water bottles and do the water bottle flips.
We gotta make sure it's partially empty first.
Is that what people do? I never got on that one.
Only if we can have a bunch of your friends around and like run crisscross in front of the camera, like, oh.
Well, I thought the water bottle flip thing now was to like the first person to flip it wins an argument or something. Isn't that how that works?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I haven't been cool in over 20 years.
I haven't been cool in about 33 years, so ha.
I've never been cool, and I am pushing 50.
It was cool once.
Cool. Yeah, it was cool like 6 months ago, then I lost it.
Good for you, though.
Now, on the other hand, I am cold as hell right now, and I don't know why. Because it's like 70 in here, and I'm freezing.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, you got 2 adults and 2 very large dogs in a tiny cabin, and it stays warm in here.
Yeah, I bet it would. Perfect for those frigid winter nights like this, where it's just miserable.
I kind of wanted to just break my middle finger off my right hand, but I use it so often.
Don't give in to the intrusive thoughts. Jeez.
It's so loud. For like over a month, I've had a jammed finger, and I just
that's
between that and my arthritis, like fuck.
Yeah, my back has been out. I have an old injury where a horse kicked me when I was a teenager, and it gives me trouble from time to time. And David, my beloved husband, finally was able to pop it this afternoon, and the sound it made, I have heard gunshots that echoed less. It was horrific. I love it.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I used to want to be a chiropractor just because, like, you can hurt people and they pay you for it.
Yeah. And you tend to get arrested if you do it as sex work.
It depends where you live for that one.
I was going to say, it depends on your location. Location.
Yes, well, none of us are in Amsterdam, so...
I'm pretty sure
Vegas.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure you get away with that in Vegas, too.
A little town called Reno.
Yeah, you have to go outside of Vegas proper.
Yeah, I guess.
Don't
Reno.
ask. Yeah, don't ask how I know that.
Well, there's plenty of stuff that you can do in Vegas that is definitely prostitution.
It's only illegal if you get caught.
I mean,
All right, I think we're already getting off the roads pretty quickly tonight. It's time to rein us back in because I think we're here for a thingamabobber, right, guys?
Oh yeah, that thing.
A thingamabobber. Yeah.
Thingamabobber. We're doing something. There's some kind of issue, some kind of disaster occurring, or something like that. That's what I've been told.
Some
anyway.
sort of crisis.
We were trying to find something. I'm pretty sure.
That's right. It's a star crisis, right? We're here to solve a star crisis.
We're trying
Stars
to find
are running out. We are trying to find the drift. That's why the name of our podcast is "Dude, Where's My Drift?"
I don't know.
Just up and
Both
vanished
the
on
dumb
us.
Player and the dumb character, so don't ask me questions. I don't know.
Don't ask questions you don't want Gator answers to.
So there's not many questions I actually wouldn't want to ask Gator then at that point, because I would just love to hear Gator's philosophy in the world. But we can get to that later.
Always treat others with kindness and be hospitable at all times. Until it's time to not be hospitable.
Yeah, that's right.
You crush their fucking heads.
Be rootin', be tootin', and by God, be shootin'. But above all, be kind.
Oh no.
Remember,
got both
folks,
of them.
there's a time and a place for everything, and that place is college.
Well, we're a few years too late for that one, unfortunately, I guess. But hello and welcome back, everybody, to another thrilling session of Dude, Where's My Drift? I am your Galactic Menace, your GM, your friendly neighborhood K, here to say, hey, howdy, what's up, hello, and, there's some emotional torment, some twists and turns, some curvy mystery shenanigans, and, do my best to befuddle players and entertain the masses.
He's also
Here-
humble, too.
I am so very humble, yes. Here with me tonight are my 5 friends, these precocious players who have decided to subject themselves to my particular brand of insanity and torture. Starting us off as ever, he is the last doctor that you're ever going to need out there in space. Just don't mind him if he gets a little bit slimy. We have Doge playing Dr. Sam Lee Aolin.
If you hear a lot of clicking from me, it's just my pen and my anxiety.
Yeah, that's a mood. Here to remind us that not all, just because you got a big brain doesn't mean you got to use it to think about stuff and be smart in things. Instead, you can just, punch things and light them on fire. We have Chups playing Brain Zero.
And Kay, you hadn't actually come up with an intro yet, had you?
I did no such work or preparation whatsoever.
Don't accuse him of
good
such
man.
I'm
things.
changing it on episode 20.
But they are here to cause devastation, destruction, and bring about the end of the universe. But, they might make some friends along the way to try and coerce into their cult. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a cult at some point here. But anyway, we have Kaz playing Simber.
Remember, the destruction was the friends we made along the way. Oh, wait.
Any word on that cult, by the way? Just out of curiosity, I have a few people asking about it.
Oh, coming
The fine
soon.
line between cult and religion.
All right. And we heard him speak up earlier about the simple family values that will always make sure that you end your day with a smile and make everybody your friend. We have Clue playing Gator.
What y'all doing? It's great to be here.
And rounding us out, he's going to be the one who eventually solves the mystery of what caused the drift crash and, how to fix it. But that's a story for another time, another day, another place. We have Treb, played by ST.
Wait, is that not the story for this time, this place?
There have been a lot of times and places.
That's true. We have been to a lot of times and places.
We have been to a lot of times and places, and you have more still to come. I don't know, I feel like right now you guys are more concerned about just upgrading your ship. Like that's kind of what we're working on at the moment. Maybe
A robot
someone...
can be concerned about two things.
Oh man, that must be that fancy computing brain.
Just very binary of you.
Gator can't have two thoughts, just so you're aware. That's quite... That would cause him to immediately have a headache, and he would have to lie down.
Understandable.
I have no words.
I've seen Cave facepalm more times tonight than I have in a while.
I mean, that's because it's been 2 weeks since we played last.
Yeah, it's been.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yep, it's been weeks since we played.
It's almost always been 2 weeks, though.
Sometimes it's been 4.
Except for that time when it was forever.
But yes. I'm so glad that we're all back here. We're doing this again. We're here to party and have some fun and some chaos. Who haven't I picked on in a while is the question.
I mean,
Did Clue just volunteer to recap what happened last time?
Yes.
Suppose I could.
I think that's what I heard too.
We met some folks that was a might bit close to a black hole. We yanked them out, and then we were invited over for supper and tea, and we obliged them. They turned out to be a collection of Solarians, and their ship itself was some sort of temple. I'm not really sure. I thought a Kasathan, and some of the other folks, they don't trust the AI or the people on the crew. I am a very trusting lizard. I do not know what they're talking about. The end.
Indeed, that is indeed kind of what happened last time. You guys boarded the ship, saved the ship, boarded the ship, talked to the people, and yeah, there's some weird stuff happening. A couple of you found some weird things loading around, talking about oblivion and destruction and the end of the world or something like that. It's all kind of unclear.
I don't know. Simber seemed excited.
That's always a good sign when Simber's excited.
Yeah. I like my bunkie to be happy.
I only ever get excited about things that are good for everybody else.
Yes. Yes.
I believe it.
That you were altruistic in your excitement.
But indeed. So
Today's word of the day is altruistic.
you guys are also kind of taking this opportunity to upgrade the Primarata a little bit and shift stuff around some, get some new interior work done, and just some fun stuff like that. But we'll see what's happening over there another time, because currently we are still on board the ship that I've absolutely not forgotten the name of, I promise. The Final Horizon is the ship that we are on board of right now. And we're still on board there.
I would say, is it a ship or is it a cause monastery?
I think it's both.
It's both.
Also, that's a great name. Final Horizon. That is a good name for a ship.
That is.
It is a
Except for when
wonderful
it's on
name
the
for a
edge
ship.
of a black hole.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
that might
it's
make...
a little too on the nose then.
Yeah, I was going to say,
It's-
it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It's exactly on the nose enough.
Yes. But so where we are going to pick up this week is the start of the third day. You guys have been kind of tethered together with the Final Horizon, and you guys
I
have.
like how. Go ahead.
Sorry, Doge has spent the first couple days just kind of helping treat wounds both above ground and in the lower decks where the living quarters are. Treb and Brain Zero spent some time helping recalibrate the flight systems and slapping some new hull plates on the outer hull where some asteroids had kind of broken it open and exposed bits of the ship to the atmosphere. Gator has been making friends, as he does, mostly with the pilot, the Lashunta Ninora, or not Lashunta, the Kasatha Ninora, And Gator also met the ship's chef, a Mirakoi named Triffy. Meanwhile, Simber has been hunting someone. But before we really get back into it and start diving into the actions of the third day, our scene tonight is going to open up. The lights on the final horizon are flashing a dim red, strobing across throughout the corridors as the camera slowly pans through and around it. There are bodies of several of the Kasathans sprawled through the library and across the corridors, dark blood splattered on the walls and the floors. We continue moving through the ship and we stop in the kitchen and we glance in, and the camera glances into the kitchen, revealing what looks to be Triffy, only they're missing their head. Their body just sprawled out across the floor. The piloting station is obliterated, sparks shooting up out of the circuit, the panels, showering across where Talaris and Ninura both laying dead. In the medical bay, we find Dr. Samley injured, potentially bleeding out. There's no sign of Simber or Gator. There's a robotic arm there on the ground that could potentially belong to Treb. And floating in front of the window outside the bridge, we see Braino's helm floating free. Lights flicker all throughout the entire ship. There's bobs and bits of electricity arcing across several parts of the floor tiles. And then the camera pans down into the computer core, an area of the ship that we have not been to yet. With a flickering light, a potential a form starting to appear on the outside edges of the core. A body slowly forming from light and holograms. Before we can really get a good glimpse at what that might be, we snap back, and across the screen pans the phrase, "several days earlier." And now we come...
I don't like any of that.
Yeah, I don't. Where's the rest of Trev? I need to know where's the rest of Trev.
How you said accidentally bleeding out? How do you purposely bleed out? No one bleeds out on purpose.
I thought
Oh,
I meant
yeah?
potentially bleeding out.
You want to see how hard I can bleed?
What are you talking about?
My name is Simber, and welcome to Jackass.
But speaking of Simber,
Yeah.
so you are bound and determined to make yourself a new friend. You've not had the best luck in tracking them down the day before, and they keep kind of slipping away. But you are just by whatever deity you worship, you are going to make this person your friend. This Lashunta named O'Neill.
Correct.
So we're gonna start with you, and what you gonna do today on day 3?
Do I get to roll to get lost to try to find her again?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do that. I almost did that really well.
You almost did that really well.
It lingered on the 20, but it's a 16 total.
But I was going to tease you there a little bit. But that's okay. So that is enough for you that after another day of wandering around through the bowels of the ship where the living quarters and everything, the previous day, you're starting to get a pretty good idea of, how to find your way around down here. You're starting to notice there's few signs here and there, little holographic graffiti arrows pointing or indicating different sectors you're in and things like that. So you're able to, get a good idea for where to go around there.
Mm-hmm. There are lines on the floor.
Indeed. And after probably about an hour wandering around, you do indeed stumble into the Lashunto once again, and at seeing you just pop up out of nowhere behind them for the third day in a row, they let out a shriek and jump up in the air.
Oh,
Big Elmira vibes here.
is this how you say hi? Because it's been this way for the last. Hang on, let me try it too. Gonna jump up in the air and just ah!
I mean, the lights down here in this part of the corridor, because you have moved a little ways away from like the living quarters, it's definitely dark and dim. And just, I mean, Simber, describe how you move through these corridors.
You know, like normal people do. Down on all fours and, you know, sniffing and looking around and just generally trying to find my way.
Yes, and it's the fact that you're down on your all fours, and you are so tiny that she nearly trips over you. That she's definitely just a little panicked. Like, by the goddess, why are you here again?
Hi, what you up to?
I was just. It's not important. Why are you here? Why do I keep running into you?
Because I keep looking for you.
And this like look of just absolute panic just comes across her face all of a sudden when you say that you're looking for her, and she like quickly darts and looks around before swallowing kind of visibly, and it's like, I don't know why you are so interested in finding.
Look, it's okay. It's okay. Look, I get it. I know.
What do you get? What do you know?
I know. Trust me, I know.
I feel like I need you to make some kind of check for this.
Which one do you want, bluff or diplomacy?
You pick which one you want to do.
It's been a while since I've rolled. You know what? I'm gonna roll diplomacy because Simber really does think that she understands what's going on. Yeah. Oh.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness, that was. You know, I believe you do have a reroll for the book.
Absolutely not. I will drag this out as long as I have to not to use that reroll on this.
She seems rather doubtful that you actually do know, but she just kind of shakes her head a little bit and is like, look, I don't know. I truly don't think that you understand what's going on here.
Oh, so there is something to know.
And she
And here I thought I was just, you know, shooting in the dark.
And she, like I said, they just kind of look at you for a very long moment. It's like, why are you and your crew here? What are you doing here?
Look, I don't know why anybody else is here. I'm here because I came along on their ship.
And what is your purpose coming along on their ship?
What is my purpose?
Yes.
I mean, that's a really deep question. Are you sure you want to get into that? Like, do you want to go like get a drink or something first? Because that's pretty deep. That's pretty hard to get into. Simber's gonna like actually sit down next to her, like. I mean, like, why are any of us here? Like, why are you here? Like, seriously. We're just all gonna end up, at the best case scenario, getting to the heat death of the universe anyway, right? I mean, everything gets destroyed eventually. So, what's the point in toiling with all of this research and knowledge if it's all just going to be for nothing in a couple billion years?
So while you're talking, do me a favor and roll a perception check.
Okay, that one turns out okay.
So, as you're talking and you're sitting there like you're just reflect on how deep a question that is, you look up and all of a sudden you see them, the Lashunta is starting to slip away from you again.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. What? No, you asked. Now hang on a minute. I'm trying to answer. Slowly beginning to follow after.
Oh, wait. You're still here.
What do you mean I'm still here? Where do you think I went? You're the one who left.
Well, I mean, I was trying to avoid you. I don't know who you are. And you start talking about the death of the universe, and you appear here suddenly, and just when everything seems to start going truly haywire, and found.
Oh, things are going haywire.
Well, I don't think they're going haywire in the way you might be picturing now. It's just.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Roll me one more diplomacy check.
$18 on the dice.
All right. She just lets out this frustrated sigh. It's like, all right, just here. Follow me.
I don't know if I want to. You're acting really suspicious.
And I don't want to talk here.
Uh-huh. Where are we going?
You'll see.
Okay, there's no way this ends badly. Follows after.
She sets off at. She's not exactly running, but she's definitely scurrying along. And you see, like, every now and then, she looks up, like her eyes are tracking. And you look up, you see the little blue circuitry kind of running through the ceiling in some of these parts here where it's like, hi, Charlie.
Now, wait a minute now. I don't know if you're thinking this through running after her.
And you see that she's looking up there every now and then for like the blue circuits or for cameras or speakers. And it's almost like she's trying to get deeper into the ship where potentially there's no one to overhear.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, like, you are deep in the bowels of this ship by the point when she finally stops. And she guides you to what seems to be a rusted bulkhead. And there is a message scrawled across it. And she stops there, looks around, and looks down. And he's like, look, things are not what they seem here on the ship. You may have pulled us out of that, away from that black hole, but I'm fairly certain that the ship is, instead of on a direct course for it, someone is trying to pull us back into it in a more gradual motion to make it less obvious of that's where we're going. I don't know who's behind it, but what I do know, the Cora, the AI, is involved. She's always listening.
So, what you're saying is someone is interested in enacting a massive destructive situation on this ship.
Yes, what I'm saying is that somebody is trying to drive this ship back into that black hole and kill us all. And quite frankly, I'm not very interested in dying right now.
So, who would I need to talk to? To stop them, of course. To maybe try to sow the seeds that this isn't a good idea. Of course.
I don't know who all might be involved in this. And she kind of gestures up to the bulkhead where you see there is a message written.
Okay,
that
what's it say?
reads, death is life. Oblivion is renewal.
Well, that's...
Cora is our savior, onward to the final horizon.
Oh. Well, that's all a whole bunch of sophistry and bullshit.
That may be, but from some of what I've seen and heard, I feel like there are definitely those on board the ship who believe that and are buying into it. I don't know who to trust. I don't know who we could possibly go to. All I know is that AI Cora is involved, and I don't know who, and I'm not even sure I can truly trust you Especially as you've been stalking me, I probably know this is just a giant trap, but I'm tired of you creeping up on me down here.
I mean, reasonably, the reason is because I was told that someone around here might need a little bit of emotional or spiritual guidance, to help them through the tough times. And when I walked into the room in there, you looked like you were kind of like you are right now, in need of guidance in tough times. So this is your fault if you think about it.
And yet, surely there would have been others who were more easily found that wouldn't have required you stalking along the corridors every day for 3 days?
What can I say? I'm determined.
Yes, clearly.
And this might pay off, actually, for both of us if I think about it. That would take a lot of effort, though. I'm usually not the one doing the thinking.
Pay off how? What do you mean?
Well, if we want to stop the ship from getting destroyed, and you want to not die while staying here, in theory, maybe. And Simmer's going to take a long pause because she really doesn't think very much about this. You'd need to know who was involved. And the easiest way to do that is to get them to take somebody in who they think also wants to be involved. Yeah?
I suppose? Look, I am not going to try and infiltrate some kind of death cult that is springing up among the Solarians here.
No, but that sounds like a lot of fun for me to do.
Yes. That sounds like a wonderful plan. Why don't you go and do that?
Plus, if it goes badly, you're free of me. So, like I said, win-win.
When you put it like that, you should absolutely go and try and do that.
All right. Do you have any ideas where to start?
No.
Well, you're a lot of help after everything I've tried to do for you. Gosh. Simmer's just going to storm off and walk away. Now, am I going to have to roll another survival check to get the heck back up top?
Yes, because I want to see what happens.
God dang it. Ah!
All right, we'll come back to that.
Oh god.
All right, so we're going to move on to Gator. So, Gator, the third day, as you're coming on board, you notice that there's a slightly different air kind of in the on board the Final Horizon, and then you kind of, and as you look around a little bit, you notice that there's several of the monks who seem to be heading down towards the library.
I've been one for learning, but I'll follow.
And as you make your way down there,
Interesting them looks.
and as you kind of make your way in there and you step forward, you notice there seems to be a gathering of a whole bunch of monks, including your friend, the pilot Ninora, and the abbot Talaris.
I wave enthusiastically at those two, and then I join them.
Ninora kind of ways, but Talaris seems to be caught up in a heated argument with another one of the monks, an elderly human lady who I believe you have met briefly or has been introduced to you all as Sister Baraga. And she stands there in austere robes as black as the dead star in the viewport, folding her wrinkled hands primly. Her presence just commands respect despite her small, stooped stature, and speaking in a calm voice, she explains, "Our order is dedicated to the understanding of cosmic forces. The darkness of imploding stars is among the most profound of these, and it bears further study and contemplation." "A contemplation, Sister Baraga," Talaris replies, "that could be performed from a safer distance. Why, if it weren't for the Primorata and its valiant crew, we would all be dead, pummeled by debris or sucked into oblivion. That's only because the engines were dead, Nenora chimes in. She kind of stiffens a little bit, though, as everybody turns to look at her, and she kind of glances around and then glances at you, Gator, before nodding. It's like, from here on out, I'll be at the helm. I'll keep us out of the danger zone. I don't know why we're even discussing this. It's insane. And then she storms out of the library. Meanwhile, Sister Braga continues on. There you have it. And Talaris replies, I am conflicted. Nothing's been the same since the drift ejected us from our mission to the Stellar Nursery and brought us here to the Singularity instead. Perhaps we have observed enough birth and life, Baraga continues. Now the time has come to contemplate the end of all things. Besides, with the drift closed to us, we cannot go anywhere. It is a sign. This is where we are meant to be. And as you, Gator, roll me a quick perception check.
Alrighty. I'm trying. Uh-oh. Oh, what happened?
Treb returneth.
Uh-oh.
It was me. I'm back.
Okay. I've clicked it twice and it keeps popping up on a different thing. There, finally. Okay.
That was piloted, not perception.
Oh, well, that does not help. Wow, I'm good at this. I was like, why is it so low? I also got a 9 on the dice for 14.
All right. As you kind of look around, you notice that there's a lot of the other monks in here who are all nodding in agreement with what the old human Sister Braga is saying. And Talaris, he looks a bit more troubled. Kind of shakes his head.
He's looking troubled?
Yes, he seems to be a little troubled by this talk of contemplating the end of all things.
Gator makes note of the troubled look on that one's face, but is very, very confused by the conversation. Sounds as though some of them wanted to be right in that black hole, and he doesn't understand why anyone would do such a thing. Because, well, you know, he's not suicidal.
Be that as it may, we need to not get too close to it. We can see the black hole safely from a distance.
I mean, that seems like it would be the better. It's more opportunity to study longer. I don't see the point of research that might kill you.
You there, you are the captain of the Primorata, yes?
Yes, we had a vote and I was elected captain. Yes, that is accurate and true.
Be that as it may, you have no place in this discussion among us. This is a forum for the monks to debate and discuss our concerns and our policies and issues.
That is fair. I did not mean to impose myself into your conversation. I just happened to be a witness to it. So my apologies if I have overstepped my bounds.
No, Sister Baraga. They did a great service by saving us, and we can show them some due respect by inviting him in to hear another viewpoint.
Yes, please enlighten me as to your views.
And Gator, roll me diplomacy.
Okay. Probably be about 3 down, so intimidate. Okay. Oh, 4 on the dice for 11.
Okay. Abbot Solaris. No, we do not. It does not matter what his opinions are. As I said, this is a cause for the monks of the monastery to determine, and he, especially one who is not even a member, a Solarian like us.
That may be true. I might be very well the exact opposite of you. I'm not entirely certain as to what my powers is, but I think it's always good to have other people's opinions. Because if you get too many folks thinking alike, well, we get into some tricky genocidal territory. Very fine line.
No, it's true. I apologize for dragging you into this, Captain Gator. I don't know what much good will come further from this forum, unfortunately. Please, everybody, we shall call it here for the day. Please return to your duties. Thank you for attending today.
Thank you for making me a part of this. It was very interesting, and I hope I wasn't too impolite.
No, and as some of the various Solarians kind of step aside, breaking into some small groups, and you hear some kind of whispering between them as they all venture further back into the ship. You see Driffy the cook heading back towards the kitchen. They give you a very bright wave. Dolores kind of steps aside with you.
Enthusiastically return that wave.
I apologize for the rather unseemly welcome this may have felt and caused today.
Oh.
Just...
I ponder unseemly for a little bit, and then I'm like, context. Okay, probably wasn't good. Well, it seemed fine. I didn't quite understand a lot of it. It seems like y'all need to come to some sort of an agreement as a team, though. I can understand that. It's hard.
Yes, well, Sister Baraga and several others want us to get closer to the black hole so that we may better study, as they put, the ending of life, of all things in life. And what better place than this? Just...
They do know that y'all almost died, right?
Yes, indeed they do. And it's just, it feels almost as if there's almost a hint of desperation among them to continue that thought and that problem. And it concerns me, but I could just be misreading things.
I think that you ought to be concerned if people in your crew are wanting to get too close to a black hole and you ended up in a black hole. I'm not a smart lizard, but you should probably be concerned if that's what's happening, and then that's what happened.
Well, I'm sure that Cora will ensure that whatever course may be set, that we will be safe and not drawn into the black hole.
Yeah, I hope so for your sakes.
And from there, let us move on to Brain Zero.
Indeed.
So you are having some trouble sleeping this particular night, and you end up coming on board the Final Horizon a lot earlier than the rest of the crew. And it's probably around what would essentially be dawn on ship's time, so around 6 a.m. As you kind of start walking, you begin to hear these low, melodious chants kind of echoing up through the ship and through the corridors and the hallways.
Okay. This doesn't particularly surprise are a little contemplative. These are monks of a sort, and monks tend to do a lot of chanting.
This is true. Do you kind of stop and listen to it for a little bit, or you just kind of keep moving on through?
I'm not 100% certain that even Braino quite understands why he went ahead and went aboard the other ship. That seems kind of odd now that he contemplates it a moment. So yeah, I think he will at least follow along.
Sure. Roll me a perception check.
Oh dear. That's a 6 on the die for a 12.
So as you're kind of wandering through and listening in on here, and you just, like I said, you just had this strange sense to kind of drew you on board the ship so early in the morning after a night of troubled rest. And then you start to catch a few phrases here and there. And you hear what sounds like some monks chanting, "In death we find enlightenment. Seek the union of gravity. And the void brings transcendence." And it's not coming from everywhere. It's just every now and then you like catch a hint of one particular monk saying one of those phrases, or other just very nihilistic turns and words. But it just kind of settles a chill in the along your spine and the back of your oversized brain.
Yes, nothing like having the medulla oblongata shudder. Can I make some sort of recall knowledge roll, culture or something? This seems off.
Yeah, you can make a culture check if you like.
Alright, this is not my best roll. That's a 10 for a 14.
Unfortunately, you're not sure about sources or anything of it.
Yeah, that seems terribly emo, and not exactly what Braino associates with Solarians, but what does he know? Apparently nothing. But it seems to be like maybe personal, like individual monks doing personal meditation and not like a big group of them.
Yes.
Okay. Alright. He'll keep just sort of not quite floating along, unlike most of his kin. He doesn't fully fly via telekinesis like most of them do. He more kind of like floats a little bit and then walks for a few steps and floats a little bit and walks for a few steps, like a drunk bumblebee.
Makes sense.
Unless he comes across a group, he's not just going to go and invade someone's personal space on a ship whereupon he is a guest.
Okay. Eventually you find your way to the kitchen. Because, it's getting morning time, and indeed the cook is in.
And he pauses for a moment. He's heard Gator speaking of the cook, and he sort of lingers in the doorway for a moment, considering the cook before he makes himself known with a light rap of metallic gloves on the edge of the door.
What? Oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, you're another one of the people from the other ship, right? The Primarata ship, right? Yeah. Hey, how's it going? I'm Triffy.
And he sort of pauses for a moment, like, wow, that is a whole lot of chipperness very early in the morning. He proceeds in.
Hey, what? Hey, you're looking pretty hungry there. You want some food? You want something to drink? I got some coffee on brewing for you if you'd like a cup.
No, thank you very much, but I do not, in general, partake of more than the nutritional pace that is suitable for my own anatomy.
Nutritional pace? That just sounds absolutely horrible. Why would you want to just do something like that to yourself? I mean, I bet, if you want to give me some, I bet I could whip it up, make it taste a little bit better, get some good shine on it.
No, I assure you, my physiology does not accept more than a simple nutritional pace that contains all of the nutrients that I require.
I mean, that sounds really boring and not very exciting, unfortunately. I gotta say, but well, if that's really what you want, and really what we got, then there it is for you. So what brings you out and about so early in the morning, though, if you don't mind me asking?
I found myself restless and unable to complete my usual downtime cycle. I suppose I was curious and thought to come and have a look around. And with that, Brano sort of doots over, and are there, like, seating nearby? He will doot right over and sort of very strangely levitate up and sit down on one of the... Is that a stool I'm looking at there? Kind of.
I mean, it's more like bench. Yeah, like bench. Communal bench seating.
Okay, yeah, but he will perch on the edge of it somewhat awkwardly.
Oh yeah, I know how that goes. I mean, I've had trouble sleeping most of my life, but you know what? My mom always told me that early to rise, early to shine gets the best bread in the house, or something along those lines. I don't really remember. It was a long time. It was a while ago.
Do you perhaps consume a large amount of stimcaf or other stimulant?
No, not really. Why do you ask that?
He just sort of shrugs his little gnarly shoulders under the armor and doesn't really say. As I was coming down the hallway, I overheard some of the monks at their meditations. Are you perhaps also a member of their order?
Me? No. I'm not a member of the order. I'm just Abbot Dolores brought me on just to do the cooking and feed everyone. And I mean, it's kind of what I do, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Plus, we get to see all sorts of really cool and exciting things. He's saying some weird things, man. I can't believe it. I gotta say that some of the monks, they ain't really cut out for this life of isolation. I don't know why they would have gotten into it, but they get a little cabin fever. Like, there's this one Lashunta that kind of haunts around way down in the corridors on you. She spends most of her time just hanging out down in those maintenance corridors. I don't know what she does out there, but other monks have heard her whispering to herself about how she's always watching all sorts of doom and gloom stuff. And she only eats rations in her bug, which, I mean, hey, that's her loss. Just like, Cialis, you sure you don't want to try some of this? I bet I can make that nutritional paste absolutely delicious. Best thing you've ever had.
Unfortunately, my physiology does not contain what you would call taste buds. Such a sensory adaptation addition would be lost on me, but I appreciate your hospitality.
Oh man, that's horrible. I'm sorry to hear you don't have taste buds. I mean, not tasting anything, that sounds like the absolute worst kind of nightmare. But I mean, you're asking about the monks. I mean, I know the monks in this place. Some of them act like they don't have taste buds either. They're just all about communing with the stars or something like that, and that's what they tell me anyway. But some of the chants, they're really creepy. Some of them all embracing void or becoming the singularity. It's just a little uncomfortable when I stop to think about it. But like I said, I'm just here to cook the food, not contemplate religion and cosmic philosophy. As weird as they're easy to cook for, but like I said, some of them they definitely act like they don't have taste buds either. They just couldn't care less if I threw cold water or hot water and moldy bread at them. They'd be happy at that, which is just waste of my art.
Yes, it seems that they would not appreciate finer. And with that, honestly, Bruno kind of freezes up a little, trying to find a diplomatic way to compliment this Mariquai. It seems that your skills may be underappreciated here. A pity.
I mean, you're not wrong there, but that's okay. I don't mind it. I like, at least before the drift stopped working, I guess, it was nice to be able to go all the different sites and seeing the places, things we go. It was great. Every now and then they actually have some guests come on board and get some new excitement and some new blood going on in here.
Indeed. Have you been upon this vessel for long? You said the abbot brought you aboard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The abbot brought me on board. I mean, it's probably been a good 15 or so years since I left home, and I've spent a lot of time learning how to cook on various cruise ships and worked as a private chef for a while. But Abbot Delars was a good fellow. He did me a good turn once, helped me out. He had healed he healed a friend of mine, and well, he and I got talking, and it sounded like this is the kind of place I'd never really been before, and I thought I'll check it out. I'll come along for the ride, see how it's going. I've probably been here for about I don't know, about a year at this point.
So not long. This has been an interesting few days for me. I have not contemplated nor observed Solarians in a large number up close before. We have one among our own crewmates, but he seems to have a rather rougher interpretation of his understanding of these mysteries.
Oh, so I've been a Solarian time or two in my time before, and this is like the first organized religion group of them again, which I guess for Kasathan's not too terrible. I mean, I think something about Adari on the Adari, there's kind of the lifeblood there, and this group's like an offshoot of that or something. You'd probably need to talk to the abbot, get more details about their origins and things like that. I kind of only half listened when he was explaining it to me, to be honest with you.
Indeed, it is an academic subject for which I have never held any particular esteem.
Yeah, but hey, you know what I say? To each their own, yeah?
Yes, indeed. Although I do wonder at the, as you say, morbid tone of some of the chanting I heard.
Yeah, you heard that too?
Yes, one does not usually associate a desire for uniting oneself with death as a particularly healthy outlook.
Nope, ain't that for damn certain. That's really true. They sure don't. I mean, like I said, I've heard a few times too, especially up in the early morning cooking or late at night if I'm whipping up a midnight snack for myself. But man, it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
When you get a chance, and if you have not already, offer our Captain Gator some of your cooking skills. I suspect he might be more receptive than I could be.
Oh, yeah. Actually, in here yesterday, him and Nora hanging out a little bit. I guess they'd gotten a little bit of brawling match up in the training area, and they came down for some grub afterwards. Woo, wait, man, could he put that food down?
Indeed. He seems to have a hollowed tail.
I believe it.
And with that, Braino just looks... Well, it's hard to say that he looks like anything because all the cook can see is his shiny helmet, but he sort of drifts his visage off into the distance, like maybe he's still trying to listen to the chanting if it can be heard. But what he's really thinking is he really needs to go and find Treb. This concerns him a lot.
Yeah, but speaking of Treb,
Oh, hi, hello.
how's it going?
It's going all right. Things are going a little crazy.
Yeah, things are certainly getting a little bit interesting, a little bit weird. So this particular day, when you are coming on board the Final Horizon to kind of start helping out, doing whatever it is you want to be doing, I'm assuming you're going to at some point want to try and hack into the computer system again.
Yep.
You are greeted by a pair of monks as you're coming on board, making your way up towards the piloting station.
Hello.
And
Good morning.
the ones who greet you seems to be a android and a Vesk. Greetings. You're one of the crewmen from the Primarata, right?
Correct. I am Treb. And you are?
Great to meet you. I'm Brigid Ka. This here is Tranquility 1. You can call him Drink.
Greetings.
Good evening.
Pleasure.
Hey, anyway, I know you've been real busy helping us out and getting the hull fixed up and doing some other stuff around the ship. We really appreciated that. And Tranquility and I, we were kind of talking and, well, how we wanted to give you something if you might be interested. Got a couple of things from our former mercenary days.
I'm listening.
Indeed, we have a few items that we kept when coming aboard the Final Horizon and joining the monks here that we simply had stored away. But if you are interested, we would like to give them to you as thanks for saving us and the work you are doing.
Sorry, what did they have stashed away? I missed the key word of that sentence.
Some items, a couple weapons.
Weapons? What kind of weapons?
Yes, I had a Yellow Star Conqueror. And Brigdika had a Pusher Decoupler.
What kind of weapons are those?
A Yellow Star Conqueror.
That sounds like something too big for Treb to wield.
Probably. It is a heavy weapon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Treb would tip over.
And I believe the Pusher Decoupler is a small arm though.
That sounds right. I think it's a acid small arm.
Yes, 1d6 acid.
That's not good.
I'm not. Neither of those sound like weapons that I would be interested in. However, I'm sure if you talk to the rest of my crew, they might be interested.
Oh, well, I mean, since you are here now, I was just going to give them to you to dole out as you saw fit. I believe your captain is currently engaged with the Abbot. And I'm not sure where your other companions are at the moment.
Sure, I can take them, I guess. And Treb's looking at the giant gun I think I can carry that.
Just attach a line and drag it behind you.
Yeah. It's just leaving sparks as I drag it.
Just put it in low gear. You can move it.
Off.
Do you have telekinetic hand?
I
5 pounds.
do not. I have the opposite of that. I have adhere, I can just make sure it stays right here.
I will say they also have a set of Peacekeeper's Aegis 1, which is some light armor.
Yeah, that's probably better than what I have.
It +4 EAC, +5 KAC, -1 check penalty.
I think it's actually only slightly better than what I have, and I don't have an armor check penalty. I don't know. We can put it in the loot pile and figure it out later.
Yep.
If nothing else, it's UPBs.
Yep.
Yeah, if nothing else, UPBs. Yeah. But they will actually like have you come down to their chambers down below decks, kind of take you down with them to give you the gear. Unfortunately, the batteries and the weapons are long dead, but the guns otherwise seem fairly clean and clear. Like they're good to go. They just need some new batteries.
Okay. Yeah, Trev will look at them and put them in whatever like backpack or whatever Trev has, and just like clearly being like tilted backwards on the wheels.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Once you kind of get those deposited back on board the Primarata, what would you like to do?
Well, what still needs to be worked on the ship?
And there's always still more repairs to be worked on, but if you just want to like go straight in to find a kind of secluded corner down in the library and try and gain some more computer access, you're welcome to just do that.
Okay, yeah, if Trev thinks that they could get away with it by just going at it that route, then that is what we'll do.
All right. So you find a nice secluded area where you're able to plug your data port in.
Okay, I'm going to activate the surging nanites, so just like kick my brain into overdrive while I'm connected with the computer. Cost a resolve point for a +2. Oh, I'm on self-roll. Reveal to everyone. There we go.
Okay.
27.
One of us rolled really well.
Interesting. Interesting. So, with that 27, you are able to start kind of getting a bit more access into the system itself. I can't remember exactly what all you were trying to dig into and look up. I know you're trying to find a certain file that was called the Singularity Protocol.
Yes, that was the big one that I'm looking for.
Yeah, so as you're kind of digging through and clearing out and like trying to find it, you definitely notice like every now and then you run into a firewall and it seems to be less a case of, oh, there's just don't have root access to this, more the AI is trying to kick me out, but you're able to kind of bounce around and keep going in there for a while. And you're probably digging at this for a good like 2 or 3 hours before you finally catch a glimpse of what you think might be something weird. You see that it's a file that's been accessed a couple times, but you're not able to get any information about it. But unfortunately, it is password blocked.
Okay, can I try to get past the password?
Yeah, go for it. That's another computer check.
Do I want to spend another resolve point? Let's go with no. Let's see what I got. 26.
Unfortunately, you are not able to hack past the password requirement. Would you like to try again?
Oof. Would you like to play a game?
Yeah, let's go again.
Roll those dice, literally.
Yeah. Hey, 19 on the die for a 32.
Ooh.
All right, this time you are able to bypass the password.
What was the password? Do I know?
No.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
That's the same as my luggage.
And you get a glimpse at a file, at this Singularity Protocol file. And it's some kind of data set. But before you're able to start downloading or get too much information from it, abruptly the entire network goes down. And then reboots a moment later.
Okay. Can I notice any changes? Do I still have access or whatever? Or
Nope, you were kicked out. Basically turned off and turned back on again.
Yeah. Okay. So they definitely know that I'm snooping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I should probably find some of the rest of my people and update them that they okay, so the AI definitely knows that we're onto them, but I would want to have that conversation on the Primarata if possible.
Sure.
Or telepathically if there's a telepath nearby.
But before we get into that, we are going to move over to the doctor.
Good evening. I'm here.
You are. It's just taking us a minute to get to you tonight.
Try not to click my pen, don't worry.
I mean, just mute yourself and then click it. So, doctor.
Yes.
What would you like to do for the third day spent aboard the ship?
So I spent the first 2 days doing medicine stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Are there still individuals requiring medical attention?
No, drastic needs immediate attention cases anymore. You seem to have gotten to most of the people who were fairly bad off.
Family will probably I'm assuming he would probably tend to the state of their med bay. I'm assuming it's probably kind of not up to his standards, so he might just idly spend a day cleaning.
Okay. I mean, hey, it's therapeutic for some people.
It's his thing. He likes stuff being clean. He's not OCD about stuff, but he is a doctor. He's got his ideas of what med base should be like.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And since he doesn't feel like he's got much else to do, he'll probably just kind of tend to that. Maybe, work on some healing serums here and there. Maybe, who knows?
Okay, interesting. Good to know. All right. So it's probably getting on to be, by the time you're done cleaning and everything like that, it's getting on to be fairly late in the day. Simber, you are still lost in the below decks.
Again?
Again. You were getting pretty cocky. You thought you had it figured out, but no such luck. So I'm just going to kind of have you floating out here in space for a little bit for the moment.
Should I roll to see if I can get out some more?
I mean, go for it. Yeah, rolling could potentially get you a little bit quicker.
Ha! Oh. 15 on the dice.
You found where you made a wrong turn.
I should have just had her take me back to the surface. Damn it, why didn't I think of that?
But, as the day approaches the end and you guys sit down for your meal and you eventually congregate back on the Primarata, Simber is the last one to join you this particular evening. What do y'all do?
I think I'm going to join a cult. What?
Sorry. Stanley's avoiding the salt. What is Simber doing?
I said I think I'm gonna join a cult.
Yeah, Bunky. I don't.
Another one.
Yeah? What? What do you think I am, monocultural?
How many matching sweatsuits do you have?
Well, how many matching sweatsuits do you have? And maybe I can make something work.
0.
I didn't say I was gonna start a cult, I said I was gonna join one. How did everybody else's day go?
Well, I witnessed an argument in the library. I don't think that everybody on that ship was very happy with the fact that they were on that so close to that black hole.
Hmm.
But others were.
Hmm.
I wanted to be near it to study it, but
Captain.
couldn't you study it from further away and be safer? I don't know.
Captain, respectfully, when Treb and I were attempting to assist with their repairs to the computer, we stumbled across a few things that were troubling. And I cannot say that my few observations of the monks have made me feel any less uncomfortable. You saying that makes me believe that there may be an attempt by some of the crew to plunge that ship directly into the black hole. If this is the case, I would suggest that our best course of action would be to warn the abbot and then leave now.
The AI definitely knows that we're onto it too, whatever part it's playing. I hacked into some secret files earlier, and right after I got access, it rebooted the system, and I no longer was able to access it.
It seems kind of dangerous to be putting your dongle into places that you don't know where.
I always use protection.
And y'all are judging me for wanting to join a cult.
I mean, you're just sticking that dongle in anywhere.
This is not the first time Treb's put his dongle in places.
College. It's like you don't even think about it.
Didn't Trev put his dongle in himself at one point?
He was a doppelganger.
Software. It's okay.
Because he keeps putting that dongle everywhere. I guarantee it.
You feel like if Treb had a face, they would be blushing?
Look, I get it. Sometimes you get these carnal needs to do things with other people and yourself.
I, by definition, do not have carnal needs.
And yet, here we are.
It says that in the rule book. No carnal needs for SROs.
Yes, that shows up.
Thanks,
Right there.
Paizo.
Second sentence.
Yeah.
Weird of Paizo to think of that exact same situation, but you know,
They
you
like
gotta
to
be
have rules for
thorough.
everything.
It's probably to warn humans.
Anyway, the point was that the AI is onto us. Being onto them.
Especially with all
We
that.
just call him like we see him, Treb.
I'm sure the AI really felt certain kind of ways about you being onto them.
Seemingly annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Once again,
Did you
I
try
will point
any
out-
pipelines first, or did you just stick the dongle right in?
I mean, reasonably speaking, we could just leave.
Would be my suggestion. We leave. We
Eventually,
warn the abbot, and we leave. This is not our doing.
see where you're all coming from, but there are folks on that ship who don't want to die. So what do we do about that?
I
Well,
agree with the captain.
I already tried to have the conversation with one of them that we all end up dying eventually. She didn't seem very interested in the truth. But I doubt that's going to work on the rest of them.
Bunky, I've told you this before. People don't like talking about death. They don't like death. I mean, it's a scary concept.
I mean, like it or not, it's gonna happen. It sucks,
Yeah,
but
that doesn't make it any easier on other folks. You're different. That's okay. I still respect you and like you.
I would also like to point out that it's still like another 3 or 4 days before the Primarata is going to be finished with its upgrades.
Yeah, we can't go. We gotta do some work.
okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna join the cult.
Hmm.
No, hear me out. Hear me out. If we're gonna tell the abbot before we go, when we go, it'd be great to have some concrete things to tell him, right? Like, who's involved, how much of a scope the thing has, maybe some ideas for compromise or, mutual destruction. That's all information we need, right? Do you think they just keep a list of names of cultists of this database on their computer?
Likely, as the ship's AI appears to be attempting to protect that sort of information.
Right. So what happens if we hack too hard into the AI and the AI just decides to ring the alarm on whoever's watching it?
I mean, they have a point.
The idea is for us to get out of this alive, right?
Ideally.
Typically, yes, that's the idea.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's say we're all,
I don't like the alternative idea.
So let's say we're all scattered out throughout their ship doing all kinds of silly, goofy things, and the AI decides to tell whoever's in charge, and then they just decide to let us not get back onto our ship again. Do we go out here guns blazing? What do you think the odds are we live that?
Probably pretty good.
Against a ship full of Solarians?
Look, it's us. It's not the B team. It's us. How likely do you think it is we live this?
As long as we don't last 18 seconds.
Yeah, that's the ideal. You just get them one by one, real quick.
So I figure I agree with them. I just can decide how much I agree with them and why. Maybe they'll talk to me.
I think you're the one out of us that they would talk to.
Exactly. So I can find out who all's involved and decide if I want to give that information.
I don't particularly like it because it puts you in a lot of danger.
What's the worst that'll happen?
You get your wish, and then I'm saying
The heat death of the universe, typically.
Exactly. And what can we do about that?
Delay
Very
it?
little.
That's right.
Very little.
That's right. Now you're getting it.
Well, do we put on sunscreen? I don't ever remember when we're supposed to.
It's a good idea generally.
I think we're supposed to always wear sunscreen in space. There's always a star looking at us at some point.
And there's no UV protection when you're in space. So, yeah.
Can we schedule a melanoma check on me?
Always.
Thank you. Put a pen.
I'll pencil you. I'll pencil you in.
Yeah, I mean after we get the ship all fitted, that's fine.
Oh, after. Okay, let me change that.
I do have this weird mole that I'd like you to check.
Suggest
Can
with all of the rest
No,
of this,
no, wait.
that those of us,
It's a piece of oatmeal. Okay, come on.
I would suggest that perhaps, since it appears that the AI may be on to the poking around that has been done, that those of us who are best qualified to work on the Primarata stay aboard and out from underfoot.
Trev will nod. I was just thinking the same thing. I think it would be best if I focused on the Primarata.
think it would be foolish to continue to prod.
Yeah, it's best not to push our luck too far.
Yeah.
Although you
I
would
concur.
also think that if these cultists, if that is indeed what they are, were in any way logical, they would simply load themselves into an escape pod and launch themselves into the black hole and leave everyone else alone.
Maybe if they think that at least one of us agrees with them and that that person is acting as a missionary, they'd be more likely to let us go even if things do get hairy.
Sure. To me, that in most cases, cults of this sort do not seem inclined to leave others alone.
Did we?
They attempt to drag them kicking and screaming into whatever enlightenment they think that they can provide, whether or not those they subject to the attentions wish to be enlightened.
Did we do any knowledge checks about this specific black hole? If it was like of any importance?
I don't believe we did.
Or
I
is
don't
it
think
just
so. GM?
Or,
You did not, but it's not.
okay, it's just a black hole. Okay,
Okay.
I wasn't
Black
sure.
hole.
Trev just like scans their memory real quick. Nope.
Okay, perfect. I was like, it might be important, but it also, I mean, black holes just exist sometimes.
Ironically, I believe its name may have come up on the star charts as the Quantum Ogre Black Hole. Odd. Wow, I may have just out-nerded the entire cast. I'm sorry.
I think you did.
I hit the cricket button, but it was just my pen and it clicked.
Yeah, I have no idea what that was a reference to.
I got nothing either.
Yep.
Nope,
Yep, I'm gonna have
beat
to
us
get
all.
you guys caught up on TTRPG building theory.
Oh no.
No. My brain hurts. I quit the show.
My brain's been hurt this whole time.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to the rest of my, AP writing nerds out there.
I'm sure one of
Yeah.
5 listeners knows exactly what you're talking about.
Well, one of our 5 listeners is Doge, so
That's me.
That's 20% off the top right there.
but
look,
Hey.
I'll just put it this way. I also have been meeting a couple of people. Okay, one person very determinedly over the last few days that is disinterested in dying on this ship. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's some compromise by which some of the people we know of don't have to die, and then we can leave the rest to do what they want. It's not
Same.
really our fight.
We do have our own ship. We could provide them an
Yep.
out.
Yeah, but for how
Potentially.
long? How much room do we actually have?
Trev's like holding a sledgehammer about to knock out the walls that used to be the guest rooms. Like, I guess.
A lot less than
Plug
we
into
did.
our truss system so we can knock out all these interior walls. It's fine.
We have cots somewhere, right? I swear I saw cots in storage.
There's
Yeah,
cots in the med bay.
we got a whole goddamn whole bay we could just put them in. It'd be fine.
again, I think the bigger issue with that is also a case of life support not able to support this many people for super long periods of time.
Well, by this many people, we don't know how many people are involved in the cult and how many aren't. So we might be talking about 5 people. We might be talking about 50.
This is also true.
And this is all information I could get by joining the cult.
Before we go any further, Captain, you said that you came across some of the monks in a disagreement with one another. Do you recall? Do you happen to recall who among them may have been more inclined to approach the black hole?
That's a very good question. GM, would I remember those names?
Yes. Who among these monks was suspicious?
I mean, like I said, Sister Braga, the elderly humans definitely seem to be the one who was like driving the force behind that they should stay here to study the black hole as long as possible.
And she was the medic too on the ship, wasn't she?
For her, she did spend some time helping the first day helping out.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
That's what my notes wrote about Sister Baraga. And that's all I got.
Mhm.
That she was giving somebody who we were treating the stink eye, if I recall.
Sounds right for anyone with the title Sister.
Captain, if you cannot recall their name, perhaps you could at least describe them to Simber, and Simber could then attempt to locate people of that description.
Yeah, I'm really good at finding things these days, guys.
Well, my other thought and suggestion would be to simply approach one of the ship's security cameras
Wait,
and,
no,
and
that's not right.
address the AI itself.
If the concern is that the AI might raise the alarm, maybe we could make sure the person that they would be raising the alarm with is distracted.
I can distract folks. I got lots of questions about life and entropy and things.
Or is there any way we could potentially remove their access to that part of the ship?
Gator
So
and
they
I could have
can't
a
raise
very
an alarm?
loud disagreement about something, I'm sure.
Given how protective the AI was of any information that Trev was attempting to gather, it is my suspicion that the AI may be genuinely involved. There may be no one to warn. The AI may be the driving force behind this cult.
Well, even then, though, if the AI sent the right messages to the people that they're driving, I think it would end up being pretty bad for us.
Yeah, it could be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Trev thinks that Simber's got a good idea.
This
the whole
terrifies
infiltration
everyone.
thing.
Yeah, out of character, I don't think that we have a better one.
I've got no idea what to do.
In character,
I-
Trev thinks that we don't have a better one.
I honestly, I hate to say it, but I think Simber's got the best idea of any of us.
Dear God, we're screwed.
We're gonna
Really
cinch
the
it.
only one of us that couldn't fit that personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could fit that
I mean,
personality.
I also want to
We
point
need
out
to put
Simba
a
does have
wire.
that level of Solarian too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you
I
were
mean-
made for this.
Yeah, with it.
It's like
without
they
me
were made
dragging
for
the-
this, Kay.
I'm innocent in this,
This is their moment.
but
But
it seems that you all have come up with a plan.
Yeah.
And
God
so,
help us.
as the night cycle wears on, it's probably approaching around midnight or so on your fourth day, or the midnight between the third and fourth days of your adventures here with the final horizon. And just as you are agreeing that, as terrifying as this idea is, sending Simber to infiltrate the cult and find out what information they can is kind of the go-ahead plan for what to do. Gator, your comm unit pings, and you receive a call from Minora, informing, and you hear this heavy pounding sound, almost like someone hitting a door in the call, and Minora's panicked breath coming through. I didn't know who else to turn to. I don't know who to trust on board the ship, but some of the Solarians,
Are you
I
in
think.
danger?
Yes, I'm in the training room. I'm currently blocking the door, but I don't know how long it's going to be until they break through. Can you come help me now?
I'm on my way. And Gator bolts.
Do you call for the others? Do you go by yourself?
Yeah, I let them know that they're attacking the person in the training room, and that I'm going, and they can follow or not.
So it's just fisticuffs on.
Okay. Does everybody go with?
Following my captain.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a prophecy to fulfill. Let's go.
Excellent. So you all set out, making your way there, and with that call for help, and you all rushing in to aid the pilot of the Final Horizon, that is where we're going to leave it for this week.
Oh no! Oh no! The cliffhanger on the edge of the black hole.
It's a little bit early, but
Almost like we were shoehorned into this situation.
am I being accused of railroading here? Oh no! Oh gosh!
No,
that
we're in
hurts.
space. I don't think that railroads actually exist.
We're doing it. I was about to say we're doing an AP. I don't know what you expect.
So this is America. We don't have railroads.
I'm saddened every day. Oh.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for playing with me this week.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll see everybody back here in 2 weeks. Y'all have a wonderful night.
You take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Everybody, goodbye.